So up next, after the Wyatt family beat down on Jericho, we got a match between Fandango and Dolph Ziggler. This is the kind of match that has the potential to be a barn burner, but then women get involved and everything goes down the hill.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I thought these two were going to have a nice, solid matchup, and it was looking like it, but then Summer Rae comes out, and looks like her business with Fandango and Layla is not over. She looks to Dolph, and she gives him a nice big smooch right there, and Fandango's perplexed. He's like, Summer, what are you doing? Summer, what are you doing? And I don't know if she was saying
And
anything back to him.
Ziggler is not done. He reaches out and grabs her and plants a freaking wet one on her, too.
Exactly, because he's like showing off, and yeah, pulls her back in, continues the kiss, and at first Summer seemed like perplexed, surprised me. Like her initial reaction was like one of shock, which made me think, well, is Summer just using Dolph as like a tool to just fester jealousy within Fandango? But then after the match, because Fandango again is still distracted, Dolph is still able, after making out with a woman, to hit his zigzag and win a match. If Dolph Ziggler was still a heel, this would have been a promo gold mine.
Yeah.
Like, I'm able to go in, make out with your girlfriend, and still win because that's how great I am. So yeah, after the match, he's celebrating and Summer's like smiling from up the ramp. So I guess now the feud is Ziggler, Summer, Fandango, Layla.
Yep, I fully expect a intergender tag team match set for Battleground.
Really? Yeah, I would agree with that. Really pondering it.
Probably the pre-show, if we're being honest with ourselves.
I think it would be the perfect pre-show match. I mean, I do think Dolph, we're always going to say that Dolph deserves better, but Summer Rae and working with this angle, it's not bad, especially if, who knows, if Summer would stick around after the business with Fandango and Layla is done. I doubt it, but I don't know, she'd be an interesting ballet for Dolph, for sure. I'm not entirely against the idea.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you've seen it or not, but a couple months ago there was actually a GIF leaked online at a house show where they came out together and Summer did the frickin' Dolph Ziggler gyration that he does at the top of the ramp. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that every week.
Definitely not. I think it's a unique pairing, certainly with a lot of potential, and who knows how much more mileage Fandango and Layla has. I don't expect it to last.
I even joked last night about how it's like the new Hollywood Blondes, and it could be literally Hollywood, but in this case it's Hollywood, Florida, because that's where Ziggler's always billed from, and she's literally living there.
Right. So let's see what these two can do. Again, I don't know how much more mileage Fandango and Layla have. I think their mileage is directly related to how much more they're going to interact with Summer Rae. So we'll see how this all shakes out, because clearly Money in the Bank wasn't the end of it.
Yeah, absolutely. So up next, we had Stardust and Goldust, from now on to be referred to as Gold Star, versus Rybaxel. And I guess they decided to ditch the Curtis Axel singlet because he's back in trunks today.
Yeah, I guess the singlet didn't pan out. I enjoyed this match. Rybaxel was more aggressive. It's funny, they pulled a page out of Gold Star's book from the first encounter they had with Rybaxel, because they go right on the assault. Doesn't really help matters, though, because Gold Star is able to regain the advantage. Gold Star ultimately gets the hot tag, I believe, on Curtis Axel. Instead of the springboard disaster kick, this is another alteration of two that I'm a big fan of. He does like a springboard coming off the ropes clothesline, which I thought was really cool. And then we get to his finisher, which Ashton at first, I didn't know how to articulate it to him, but then he went back and he watched it, and he really liked it, and it's called the Dark Matter, or just Dark Matter, and I approve.
Yeah. I love the name of the new move. I saw the move. I don't even know what to call it. Like, it's some kind of a weird facebuster type maneuver, but I have no clue what the name for it would be from a technical standpoint. But if they're calling it Dark Matter, that works for me, man. I mean, yeah, fine, cool, whatever, works, right?
Yeah, did you see Gold Star's, Fallout promo? Or promo after they beat Rybaxel at Money in the Bank?
Yes, I did, yeah.
Oh, dude.
Dude, I freaking love Goldust. I love Goldust right now. He is so good.
He had me dying when Cody puts his, or should I say Stardust, that's really what I should be calling him as long as it's gimmick last, puts his finger out, Goldust touches the finger, and he's like, E.T.? No. But why? What?
They're hilarious together.
Dude,
I know that we always talk about how much we love Cody Rhodes and how much we love Stardust, but dude, All this pairing has done is make me realize how underrated Goldust has always been.
Dude, they're so good for each other. They really are. Like,
Yeah, that's what it is. Because, like, Cody Rhodes, when he said that Goldust's next partner would magnify the magnificence of Goldust, he has never been more right about anything in his entire life.
and you know what? I don't want to go on a rant because I'm not angry. Everybody is entitled to their own opinions, to be sure. But, like, I'm just left scratching my head at the people that are so critical of this Stardust character and gimmick because they're saying, oh, we expected Cody Rhodes to be a world champion by now. We want Cody Rhodes to be Cody Rhodes. You know what goes farther than just a guy being himself, even though he's really talented in ring? Having a unique personality that's distinct from everybody else. To me, this just really works because as much as I love Cody, and as much as I still think that his masked Cody Rhodes gimmick was the best gimmick that he's ever done, when Cody takes on a personality rather than just being a Rhodes and really talented in the ring, I feel like that's when the best parts of him come out. And I'm saying the same thing now that he's Stardust. Will this gimmick win a world title? Absolutely not. Even the mere possibility of it would be absurd. But it keeps him entertaining. It keeps him relevant. It keeps him on TV. And that's all that matters. Because when guys don't start showing up on TV, that's when I really get concerned. Cody is just a top tier talent in my eyes because he invests himself in every gimmick he has.
Yes, he
And
does.
I don't understand why people just can't let go. And believe me, I want it too. I've been one of the guys for years that I've said, I want Cody to be a world champion. I want Cody to be a world champion. And now that they've consolidated the belts, I've kind of softened my stance a little bit. And I'm just saying I want Cody to be at least a really relevant upper main event kind of guy, upper mid card kind of guy. Cody's having a great career right now. And that's all that matters. Ashton said it multiple times. Championships at the end of the day are irrelevant. Jake the Snake Roberts was never a world champion, but you know what people talk about him for? His feuds, Damian, his promos, things like that. You know what I'm going to talk about with Cody Rhodes if he never reaches that echelon? Bringing back the classic Intercontinental title, masked Cody Rhodes, dashing Cody Rhodes, which I personally loved, and now, as it currently stands, Stardust. So I'm just telling people, let the criticisms go. Not everybody's going to be a world champion. Let's just enjoy the fact that Cody is having fun with this and he's giving his all in it.
Absolutely. Great way to wrap things up on that segment. Gold Star picks up the win with Dark Matter, I think you said it was called. And
Yes.
Up next, we had a promo from Paige, which was kind of weird because she never really cuts promos. And she even says, I'm usually a person of very few words. But she cuts a promo basically talking about how she has heard all of the people talking about how she needs to just go back to NXT and she doesn't belong. And she basically says that, you know what, I think I've proven that I do belong here and that I am Divas Championship material. And next thing you know, freaking AJ Lee's music hits. And she comes out and basically kind of pulls like the docile, like, oh, I just came out here to congratulate you and say you were right thing, and Paige calls her BS. She says, no, you know what? I know what you're doing because I did the same thing however many, 3 months ago, I guess it was, and I won your title, and if you think that I'm stupid enough to give you a free title shot just because you come down here to congratulate me, you got another thing coming. And then AJ, just kind of says, wait, no, that's right, because then Paige said she doesn't think anyone wants to see her defend the title, and the crowd starts a yes chant, and AJ asks the crowd again, and they cheer, and Paige is just like, oh, okay, well, fine. I mean, I wasn't stupid to give you a title shot just because you came down here to congratulate me, but I'm totally stupid enough to give you a title shot just because the crowd wants me to.
Classic babyface mistake before they cross over to the dark side, which is the really fascinating part of all this from where I'm sitting. Because the irony is, Ashton, we were talking earlier about Wyatt Jericho, and I wanted you to, sprinkle some of your fantasy booking on it, and you said you'd have a double turn. I felt like we got that here. Not explicitly.
I don't think that it was a heel turn for AJ, though. I think that her return, she was a babyface. She came out, she was respectful. She said, congratulations and you're welcome, or not you're welcome, you're right to Paige. She wasn't a heel here, so it's kind of hard for her to turn, but it was definitely a heel turn for Paige.
I guess that's what I really mean. I think I misused, and pardon me for doing so, misused the term double turn, because I'm saying, AJ, they really did switch their alignments. I think they clearly established, that's what I want to say. They clearly established AJ as a babyface through this whole segment while turning Paige at the same time.
Right.
So it's not a double turn, but we definitely established different alignments for both of these women. And before we get into the actual match, I'm going to throw the ball to you again, because I like asking you these questions throughout, segments like this. You had said to me while we were watching, I believe it was Money in the Bank, either that or Raw, that you just felt like Paige, well, not to put words in your mouth, but it came off like losing some of her edge. It's coming to the main roster because she used to be like this badass. Now she's just wearing the leather jacket, smiling, all that stuff. Do you think a potential heel turn, which is what this is certainly looking like to me, could do her some good?
Yes, absolutely. Dude, my problem with Paige on recent events is that she's too happy. She's too smiley. She is basically becoming cookie cutter diva babyface. When she was in NXT, she was an absolute badass. She was a killer in a sense, about as much of a killer as you can be as a diva in the WWE, and she was unstoppable. And then she gets called up to the WWE, and she, like, the only thing that changes about her is that now all of a sudden she kisses babies and hugs fat chicks. Like, that kind of trope that goes along with being a WWE babyface. And the fact that she started doing that, to me, made her less interesting. And I think that turning heel is definitely the way to go for her right now, because as much as I hate to admit that it's even possible for her to be a heel, she's really freaking good at it when she gets the opportunity.
Definitely. I'm so happy to see this, because I can definitely understand where you're coming from. When I watched Paige on NXT, the one thing I would consistently remark about with awe and just absolute admiration was her mean streak. She wasn't afraid to be vicious. She wasn't afraid to be physical. Really, to put it and package it nicely, she wasn't afraid to be good. And I'm not saying she was afraid since she came up to the main roster. Quite the contrary. I think Paige always wants to be at her best. But now, being the heel in this equation, I think will allow her to do so. They only had a little back and forth. Paige, and this is notable here, again, talking about how she's making that transition, had trash talk to AJ. She grabbed her by the hair at one point, looked in her face and said, "This is my house now!" and slammed her face in the canvas. Goes to deliver more offense. AJ catches her in the cradle, gets the 3 count, and she is now a 2-time Divas champion. Paige is in hysterics, and when you look at the Fallout videos that happen, AJ tells Eden that, it was my sincere intention to go out and congratulate Paige, just as she did me. I didn't expect to get a title opportunity, but it happened just like that. So I'm reunited with my baby. The world is as it should be. So I don't know if she's necessarily, quote-unquote, sane now that she's a babyface. I think she still has those underlying psychotic tendencies, those very obsessive tendencies. And Paige wouldn't even give a promo. She just got out of Dodge, got out of the building. Like, Paige, one question, and she's like, "Leave me alone," and she leaves. To me, and that's the next question I'm going to ask you, again, passing you back the ball. How do you feel about such quick title changes and these two just having 2 quick matches? Do you feel like it's going to lead into a clinic at Battleground? Do you like the fact that the Divas Championship is kind of being a prop at the moment before the central prize? Like, how are you feeling about the structure of this feud so far?
I don't understand the question.
I'm just saying that they've had 2 quick matches so far, right? And 2 really, I guess, quick title matches. Like, AJ had a long reign, sure. Paige, I guess you really couldn't say so much. Like, her reign ends so abruptly at the hands of AJ. I mean, do you think that's good booking for the story that they're telling? Are you not really a fan of it?
Absolutely. Because, dude, here's my thing. They're setting up the next Trish Lita. This is, like, to me, AJ and Paige are the next Trish and Lita. They are arguably the best workers of their time. They are arguably the best talkers of their time. They are hands down the most over females of their time. And these women can feud for the next 5 years, and I don't think anyone would complain. Especially if you insert Naomi into the mix every now and then, you've got a recipe for success.
Absolutely. And we were discussing this last night, Ashton, after Raw went off the air, and you asked me, did I think that AJ and Paige was the new Trish Lita, and I gave a wholehearted yes. The thing is, for me, I too have enjoyed it. I really haven't had a problem with the way their matches have been thus far. But the thing is, I think that's contingent on, and this may be me jumping the shark, so everybody listening, forgive me. I want these guys to at least get 10 to 15 minutes of Battleground. I feel like they deserve time. If not Battleground, certainly SummerSlam being a big four. But, I want these guys, because of the irony of them having two very quick matches, sooner or later they go out and they're able to have their clinic, because as far as like the mainstream programs are concerned, that could be the Divas match of the year, AJ versus Paige. So hopefully this is all building up to them actually going out and tearing the house down and actually getting time, which I think it is. So I'm excited.
You know what I want at WrestleMania 31?
What's that?
AJ Paige Naomi triple threat, 15 minutes.
Definitely. I think those three could kill it. I think they'd go to the back to a standing ovation. And who knows? With the way crowds have been lately, I could see them giving those three a "This is awesome" chant, depending on how everything shakes out.
Yep.
So, yeah, dude.
Where is WrestleMania 31, though?
I think it's in
San Francisco?
Valley this year. Oh, San Francisco? Yeah, I think you're probably right.
It's either in San Francisco or Dallas, because the next two WrestleManias are in those two venues. I just don't remember what the order is.
I think yeah, it is California, so it'd be a great
venue. Yeah. It's California. It's the new 49ers stadium that they're getting.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So I don't know. I think they could. I don't know. Is California typically a smart crowd, or are they usually? It doesn't matter. It's freaking WrestleMania. What am I talking about? They're always.
It's people from the world over. It's not entirely like homogenous California crowd. So
that's true. Yeah. So yeah, definitely. They could. That's the thing. Like with Paige, AJ, and Naomi, I think that your less educated, your more casual wrestling fans would not care because it's just female wrestling. But the more hardcore fans, the more like the smarks, I guess you could say, are more aware of who the really good divas are and who the divas worth watching are. And those three are all going to check that off. So it would be a really, really attentive crowd because of what the match is. So I think it would work.
Completely agree with you on all fronts. I think that's a perfect ending note.